Okay, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala khatimin nabiyyin nabiyana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa ashabi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi zidni ilma. Okay, inshallah, very quickly we'll recap what we learned in the last class and then continue our today's session, inshallah. So last time we started with ayat number 15. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. فَأَمَّا الْإِنسَانُ إِذَا مَبْتَلَاهُ رَبُّهُ فَأَكْرَمَهُ وَنَعَمَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَكْرَمَنِ. As for man, when his Lord tries him by giving him honor and gifts, then he says, puffed up with pride, my Lord has honored me. Fa akramahu unamahu, by giving him honor and gifts. Akram is from ikram. Ikram is to cause someone to be honored, based on their characters, based on their deeds. So they get ikram. Karuma, to be honored in and of yourself. The first tough test Allah gives the human is that He gives him an honorable and distinctive position in the society. So he is famously recognized. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Na'mahu, abundant of life of comfort, ease, luxury wherever he turns. Outside the home, he has honor and prestige. In the home, he has luxuries. Allah calls this a difficult test. A lot of people mistakenly think that Allah loves him if he subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them the wealth. This is a major misunderstanding and has caused many to deviate from the truth when it comes to them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave money to bad people a lot of wealth and honor in the society, such as Fir'aun, the leaders of Quraysh, etc. etc. Why is this test so difficult? Because people don't know this is a test. So they don't become patient in being thankful and obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَيَقُولُ Rabbi Akraman. When he says, puffed up, my Lord has honored me. The fa is as a result of or therefore. Yes, so as a result of all these blessings and favors from Allah, yeah, Hulu in present tense that he, the man says over and over and over again. So he says excessively. What does he say? Rabbi Akraman. Yeah, my Lord has honored me. Then in ayat number 16, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wa amma iza mabtalahu faqaddara alayhi rizquhu fayaqulu Rabbi ahanan. But when he subhanahu wa ta'ala tries him and restricts his provisions, he says, the same man, my Lord has humiliated me. Likewise, from another angle, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests him and tries him by restricting his sustenance, he believes that is because Allah is humiliating him. So last time we have gone into the details of this. Okay. Wa is and. This is the continuation of the description of the same person being described in ayat number 15. Wamma is a mubtalahu. But when he subhanahu wa ta'ala tries and tests him, وَقَدَّرَ عَلَيْهِ, and restricts or constrains the provision for him. Qaddara, very precise estimation or calculation. When he had been given wealth, he was written in his qadr, that is destiny. When he lost wealth, that was also part of, already written for him in his qadr. Yaqulu Rabbi Ahanan. So it is my Lord who has humiliated me. Ahanan, from the word ihana, that is to make an effort to humiliate someone out of animosity against them. So this is really a bad thing, that make an effort to humiliate someone. So this is as if this man is making an allegation against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah is against me and he is making a plan to humiliate me. Yeah. So this is an accusation on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he is deliberately, because I must have done some small, minor mistake. So now he's taking the revenge. Astaghfirullah. So this person has an attitude of bad thoughts about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is not thankful to Allah for the good he does get. But when Allah does limit his wealth, as was written for him in his destiny, he says, my Lord has humiliated me. Such a person's attitude implies that Allah does not like me because he is angry with me and I don't even do anything bad, etc. etc. So he started telling there are many other people, they're worse than me, they're not worshipping him at all, they're mushriks, they're nafis, they're this, but they're getting a lot of things. What have I done? Why, Allah is not giving me? Because Allah may be angry with me and he's taking a revenge on me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. So now Allah is giving the reply and explaining this is the same person. Yeah, please remember this. Ayat number 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Allah is talking about the same people, the leaders of the Quraysh, those who have got this kind of attitude. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now negating all those things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Kalla balla tukrimun al yatim. Nay, but you treat not the orphans with kindness and generosity. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exposing them. This is the inner thing Allah is exposing to the world, that what kind of person who is talking against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah is taking the animosity, Allah is taking revenge on those people. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exposing their inner four characteristics. Inshallah, we'll see. Kalla is never, particle of aversion, or we say harfu radai, or we say harfu zajar. Zajar means like shouting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, telling, shut up, don't say that. Yeah. Allah is so angry with them. Allah is saying, Kalla. Kalla is, Allah is very showing his anger, his radai, his zajar, shouting at somebody. Then that's a separate word. Kalla, then a gap. Then bal la tukrimun al yatim. But la is don't. Bal is but particle harf, and la is don't. This particle harfu nafi, and tukrimuna, you honor. Tukrimuna, you honor. You all, you. This is for the society. Yeah, the wow is telling this is the jama plural for the society of such people. You don't honor. Who you don't honor? Al Yatim, the orphans. So let's understand, yeah, who is Al Yatim and why people are not honoring them. Okay, so Kalla is never harfu radhi, and Bal is harf, and La is harfu nafi, Tukrimuna is fail mudare, and Al Yatim is mansub. Now please remember here, this is not in past tense. This is in Mudare form, imperfect form, all the time. This is last 1400 years ago, and during the 1400 years, and now also exactly the same people. There are many people who don't respect the yatim, who do not honor the yatim. Allah La tukrimunal yatim. Nay, but you treat not the orphans with kindness and generosity. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Kalla, not at all. You don't deserve to be honored at all because you do not honor the orphans. Because these people, they were claiming, the Mushrikan in Makkah, the leaders of the Quraysh, they said that, Oh Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you want us to become Muslims, what is my position? Even in Medina also, this kind of question people were asking. For example, Abdullah bin Ubay. So because he was about to be made king of Medina, and then that was stopped and it gone. And he used to ask Rasulullah that if I'll become, Muslim, what is my position? Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, they used to ask the same question. If I'll become Muslim, what is my position? Am I equal to Bilal? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said yes, and that was not acceptable. They said no, 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 no. Am I going to stand in the salah or sit next to Bilal, who was a slave? I'm not going to do that. No, 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 no. This kind of religion, no, no, forget it. We don't want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then brings our attention to an important matter. When people are given wealth and status, they do not fulfill their duties. They do not look after the orphan who is in need of protection and support. Look, today, this is not a very serious matter. Orphans is not a very serious matter, but yes, it is a serious matter. But 1400 years ago, in that land, the Arabian Peninsula, the situation was completely different. They used to live in small clans, clan of 100 people, 1000 people, 500 people. They used to live in as a group, and they wanted protection. And the men, they had to go and fight with other clans because the enmity was so bad. They used to do the dawn raid and they used to kill all the men of another clan. Yeah. And then they used to take over the women and the children. And these children were yatims. They had no protection. What are they going to do? And they have got no respect in the society because they are someone's children. Why should I worry? Also, within the clan, also, say for example, for whatever reason, the child's father has gone for business trip and he died in the business because the businesses are not like today's businesses. These people, they had to cross the countries. They used to travel for months, and sometimes due to harsh weather or diseases, the men used to die. And when they come back and they said that your father died, we buried him there, and that lady will become, widow, and the children will become yatim. And then they say, okay, whatever, his wealth, portion of his wealth, the leader used to say, or somebody close relative will say, that's mine. That's mine. Why? Because from now I am going to look after you. Yeah, I'm going to look after you. Because I am the one who is going to protect you from the enemies. So therefore, I need that wealth. And this kind of attitude. And sometimes, or most of the time, they used to marry the woman. But what about the children? The children had no respect in the society. They were treated very badly. So they were expecting, still they want honor because they're the leaders of the Quraysh. Allah is saying, no, 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 not at all. You do not respect the yatim, therefore you are not going to get any respect. Yatim is someone who does not have any family or support in any way. Yeah. So there are various, types of yatims. We'll discuss, one or two of them. Number one, people who did not have any helpers in society were also known as yatim in the time of Allah's Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So yatim could be, for example, children who have got a single parent and cannot earn enough for the basic necessity. Generally, yatim means the child has got no father, no mother. Also, sometimes the mother is there, the father is not there. So there is no earning member. So mother somehow she has to look after the children. And they are also yatims. They are also yatims. People who convert to Islam and are disowned by their parents or society. Look, yatim does not mean somebody who is really poor, who has got no food. That's what it comes to our mind. Immediately when we say yatim, immediately we think, oh, he is destitute. He has got no family, no house, no food. Probably he is living in a pipeline, something. That's not true. Many people I have met, I have met in my life, and I have seen some of them. When they convert to Islam, their families they disowned. Their parents and society disowned them. Go to internet and search the stories of the revered Muslims. Sometimes you feel like crying because the stories are so harsh. It is the same loving family. Once they have become Muslims, and the families think that's the worst crime they can imagine. That's the worst crime on this earth, and they disown them. And some they do torture also, physically, mentally, verbally. They abuse them, whatnot. They are also yatims. Now, when we think about adopting the yatim children, we can understand, yes, the child has got nobody. Okay, maybe I can adopt one child, maybe I can adopt two. But when it comes to the society of revert Muslims, if they are yatims, whose responsibilities? I see this in my own city here. These majority of these reverts, they're going back. They're leaving Islam because the local Muslims who are born and brought up as Muslims in Muslim families, they regard them as some foreigner. They don't even talk to them. They don't invite them to their houses. They don't invite them to the houses. And particularly if they are from a different race, the treatment is still worst. Still worst. I remember an incident. I was sitting in the mosque, and the next man was sitting to me. And after Salah, I started talking to him, and he started crying. I said, "Why are you crying, brother? What's the problem?" He said, I'm from France. I'm French. I'm coming to this mosque for 1 month, and nobody talks to me. You are the first person who spoke to me, and spoke to me kindly. That's why I'm crying. You see, these people are also desperate. They are also yatims. They want some help. Maybe not money because they are earning, they're good, they're okay, but they have no family because their families have abandoned them. My request to all my brothers, particularly who are living in foreign lands, particularly in a non-Muslim culture, please, please, please adapt these kind of revered people. If you don't, on the day of judgment, Allah will question you and me that you had this situation, you had this person in your vicinity, in your neighborhood. Why didn't you adapt to him? Why didn't you did not even talk to him? You did not, shook your hands with him. You did not invite him for dinner. And they are also a type of yatims because our we have to think outside the box. We have to start now thinking outside the box. Since we are learning the Quran, we have to start thinking outside the box. We have to remove from our mind that yatim means only one who has got no father and mother. No, there are many types of situations, many types of yatim, yatama, many types. The plural of yatim is yatama. There are many types. we have to understand if somebody needs, my help, our help, we have to go and give a helping hand. People who migrate, the immigrants, legal or illegal, whoever they are, they need our help until they settle down. The people I have seen from Syria, the millionaires, rich people, and suddenly one day they are, on the streets. They don't know where to go. Such people, when they come to your vicinity, to your neighborhood, help them as far as you can. Once they are settled, because they are quite capable people, they don't need your help anymore. But create that bonding, feel for them. This is important. This is Islam. Widows, especially in Muslim majority countries, everyone disowns them, and she has no help. Look, the Islam is a beautiful religion. Islam, when Allah has allowed certain things, Allah knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Khaliq. He is our creator. He is our designer. He knows what is right and what is wrong. If somebody can accommodate, particularly from the lady's side, that a man can have another wife, two wives, because he's kind, gentle, can look after all three of them, four of them, allow them. Don't, stigmatize, that stigma that we have got, that no, 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 you should have only one wife. The society says, the law says you cannot have. If you do this, what will happen? Where will this extra woman will go? They will end up in committing evils, sins. Who is going to help them? If there is a husband, he will look after her, the other lady, two ladies, and look after the children. They will have a name, they'll have a family tree. If not, what will happen to them? They will go into the wrong ways. And who is responsible? We are all responsible, brothers and sisters. I think we have not accepted this responsibility, but you have to accept this responsibility, that we are all answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment. Because the situation, what is happening today, is no different from what was happening during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when people, migrated, from Mecca to Medina. Many of the men, they had no wives, and they had to stay there because the Meccans, they said, no, you can go, your family will stay here for many years. Then they have to, get married, another, woman in Medina, and they can have a peaceful life free from sins. These are the things. This is a natural religion. The situation today is different from situation tomorrow. The situation tomorrow is different from what was yesterday. So this religion is allowing you to change or adapt according to the requirements of the day, requirement of the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not even mention here the feeding or providing of yatim. He subhanahu wa ta'ala says you don't honor them. Look, in this particular ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, you do not honor a yatim. Allah did not say in this ayah that you did not feed. Allah is saying in the next ayah, but not in this ayah. Allah is saying you should honor. Why you should honor the yatim? What do you mean by honoring the yatim? Now, think about it. It is easy to honor someone higher in society than you. Yeah. But what about the weak or lower class in the society who are below you in the society, who need your help? Why don't you respect them? They should be shown respect too. By just giving, online charity. Yeah, this is the easy thing. That helping hands, Muslim hands, all these people, they say that can you, send through the bank? Yeah, we are very kind, we are very generous people. We send 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever money we can. Every month the money is going from your bank account. That's very good. You are doing something. But in the society, in front of your eyes, if somebody you feel that these people also should be respected. Ikram al Muslimin is a big thing in Islam. It's one of the big faraid in Islam. that you have to respect all Muslims in your society. If somebody has got a low job, or he has got a low house, he is living in a council house somewhere, and you think, shall I invite him to my house? I say, no, 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 he's not in my level. No, no, I'll invite people who are above me, or at least my level, not the level below. This mentality has to change. This mentality has to change. We must do. You know why we have been asked by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we had to go and pray in the masjid? Because when you stand in the saf, when you stand in that line there is poor people, rich people, very rich people, everybody will be there in the same line, in the same line. Allama Iqbal has beautifully said, एक ही सफ में खड़े हो गए महमूद अयाज, ना कोई बंदा रहा ना बंदा नवाज. That means, even the king and the pauper, or the poor person in the society, they're standing in the same line. Similarly, in the society, you have to honor everyone. You have to honor everyone, because many a times we always think Allah will not question me. Okay, I have not invited the person. What's the big deal? Allah is not going to ask me. Yes, Allah will ask you. Allah will ask you. In your neighborhood, there was a poor person, and he had no meals. He doesn't know anyone there. What did you do? You knew his situation, and you ignored him. So we need to do ikram, honor of the ones in need. There is no dawah to Islam better than this. There is no dawah better than this. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples from the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the life of our Sahaba Ajmain radiallahu anhum. There are loads of examples how they used to treat their neighbors, how they used to treat the strangers. It is beyond the scope of this lesson to you know show all these things, that what kind of akhlaq these Sahaba radiallahu ajmain they had, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in particular, he had khuluqun azim. You have to go and watch some videos, read some stories. Then we will understand why people were so attracted to Islam. Why did they suddenly, hundreds and thousands of people, they became Muslims? Why? There was no war, there was no fighting. So people, they became thousands and thousands and millions, they became Muslims. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not merely require of the affluent to spend on the orphans. The real requirement is that orphans should hold a respectable status in the society. Wallahi, I'm not giving a fatwa, but see what is happening in Indian subcontinent. There are so many we call yatim khanas, orphanages, orphanage for boys and orphanage for girls. What is happening there? People, they pick up these orphans from their families, and they just say that, okay, so they will be looked after in this yatim khana, in the orphanage. Just put them there, they admit there, and they're not even bothered to go back and see what is happening to them, how they are fed. Really, I have seen these yatim khanas, how these yatims are treated, how these the caretakers of the orphanage, they treat these children. There is a separate rule for their own families. I'm talking about the caretakers, the management committee members. So they had a separate rule for their own children. And when they come to visit the yatim khana, they have got a separate rule for them, separate rule for the yatims. Why is that? You know, this is beyond imagination. You just can't imagine. One rule for your own family, one rule for the yatims. They invite yatims to give them food. Yeah, in India, I have seen, Pakistan, I have seen. They call the yatims. If somebody died, they call the yatims. and they say we're going to feed you. No, 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 they are not going to feed. It's not free. First, you have to read the Quran Majid first. Then they had to say one Quran is finished. The whole Quran is finished for whatever reason, yeah, which has got no meaning in Islam, and then you will be fed biryani. This is not the job of a team. This is your job. This is your father. This is your mother. This is your relative who has passed away. If you want to do the dua, you make the dua. Don't do this contracting business that if you read one Quran, you'll get biryani, you'll get food. This is absolutely against Islam. This is against the Islamic principles. Please avoid this. Don't do this. This is not the job of a team. And many people they think, oh, all my sadaqah charities, I'll give it to this yatim khana. This is wrong. If it is your relative, the yatim is your relative, your cousin's children. If you can, you have to bring them into your family and look after him or her as your own child. This is the sunnah for beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In his household, at least there are 8 to 10 children. They are growing up with his own children. He had 6 children along with that. So he had many, people who are poor. It's not just yatim. He had 2 children from his uncle, Abu Talib, who was alive. But because they are very poor and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam became rich, so therefore his 2 children, Akhil radiallahu anhu, and also Ali radiallahu anhu. These two, they brought up in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam family. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah. He did not create a big area and say this is the yatim khana of yatim khana of Medina. This is the yatim khana of Makkah. Just bring all the yatims here and put them in one uniform, and they had to do all these duties. He did not do that. Why we are doing then? We had to ask ourselves questions. If non-Muslims are pointing their fingers to you, that means we have lacking something. We are not following the Quran and Sunnah properly. This is the problem. We are not thinking society. We are not thinking outside the box. Please start thinking outside the box. People should realize that the only value a person's wealth may have in the eyes of Allah is that is used for the service and welfare of the orphans. Otherwise, this wealth will actually become a source of their humiliation and disgrace. This is the first evil trait. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exposing all those people who are not honoring the yatims. This is the first evil. This is the first evil trait, not honoring the yatims. And I told you, yatim does not mean the one who has got no father and mother. No, no, no. Yatim has got a very broader sense, which I have already explained, and I have given you only a few examples, not exhaustively. Hadith. Abu Dawud recorded from Sahal bin Said radiallahu anhu that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The guardian of an orphan, and I will be like these two in paradise." And he put his 2 fingers together, the middle finger and the index finger together. Subhanallah. Who is giving this guarantee? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is giving the guarantee that me and the person who is looking after a yatim, who is the custodian of a team, who is looking after. We are going to be so close. Just imagine. This is the guarantee, and Rasulullah will not speak, lies. We know that. Yeah. Now he is saying that you will be so close to me. Where is his place? Muhammad Mahmud. He will be in the highest level of Jannah. And now he is saying that he will be close to me. Okay, if not in the same row, if not in the same vicinity, a little bit distant, but what is the place where you know we'll have a place next to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is showing with the fingers we are so close. Subhanallah, do you want anything better than that? And if you say yes, I want that, then you have to look after yatim. You have to take care of the yatim. How, why depends on the situation, depends on the place. You can judge yourself and you can decide. There is, no one rule. There is flexibility without removing that yatim from the family also. You can support the family also. Then in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more angry on these people who are claiming to be, the honorable people in the society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wala tahaduna ala ta'amil miskin. And you do not encourage one another to feed the poor. So now from yatim, Allah is coming to miskin. So we'll discuss inshallah. Wa is and. Now this is Waul Atifa. This is connecting with ayat number 17 and 18 and 19 and 20. So these are all one subject Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. So therefore, this is Waw Latifa, conjunction particle, or a linking verb. La is harfun nafi. La is harfun nafi. It means not. Tahaduna, you encourage. Imperfect word, fail mudare. Once again, you see, they are not in past tense, they are in present tense and future tense. That means this is being done at the time of Rasulullah, after that, in 1400 years, today, and beyond. So this is fail mudare. Mudare means present tense, future tense. It's all together. Yeah. Allah is two, harfujar, preposition, and tam is feed. Yeah, noun is majrur. Al miskin, the poor. So we'll discuss who is al miskin, inshallah, very briefly. Yeah. So two words we'll learn. Yeah, tahadduna and al miskin, inshallah. Yeah, miskin is from the word sakana. Sakana yaskunu. Sakana means, very briefly, I'll tell you. Sakana is, sakin. Sakin means you are not moving. We use the word in Arabic language also. So if you put a sukun, it becomes sakin. That means the letter is not moving. Yeah. So sakana yaskunu means a person who is staying in one place and he cannot move. He is not disabled. This person is not disabled, but he is so poor from his situation, from whatever situation he is in, he cannot move out of the situation. Somebody has to lift him or take care of him and make sure that he is resettled. He is re-established. Otherwise, he's not going to change his position where he is in. So this is called miskin. A person by himself, he has got no ability. So therefore, it is your job to help him, to re-establish him. Wala tahadduna la tuamil miskin. And you do not encourage one another to feed the poor. Now, and you do not encourage each other at all in feeding the poor. That is, they do not command that the poor and the needy be treated with kindness, nor do they encourage each other to feed them. Now, this is the second evil trait of the person. The first one, not honoring the yatim. The second, not encouraging each other to feed the miskin. Now, the word tahadduna, yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says encourage each other. There are other two places also Allah is talking about that you are not feeding the miskin. In Surah Al Maun also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Yahudduna. Yeah, Allah is saying He did not encourage. He did not encourage. And now in this surah, you did not, and all of you. Tahadduna, this is plural. Allah, saying the society is not encouraging each other. Is this true? Think about it. What is happening in our society? We invite people for weekend parties. Yeah, we invite people for weekend parties. Somebody inviting us, and we are inviting other people. Are we inviting poor people? No. We want to see that we invite people from our own level or somebody higher than us. Then only the party is good. If somebody is a miskin in your community, first of all, you don't know who they are because you have not tried, you have not gone and talked to them. You might be meeting somebody in the masjid and you see their situation. But if you go to masjid directly like a bullet, do the salah, finish the salah, do the salam, immediately come back home. What is the purpose of going to the masjid? When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you go and pray in the masjid, you get the reward 17 times. No, it's not just in the masjid. You have to build relationship in the masjid. Masjid should be our nerve center. Masjid is the place where you are going to meet many people. After every salah, whenever you go to the masjid, spend 2 3 minutes. Every day, talk to one person. Find out what's the name of that person. What does he do for living? Maybe after a few days, you notice that this person needs my help. Whatever type of help. It does not, I'm not saying that, maybe in some other countries they need food, they need your money. But people who are living in Europe and Americas, it's not the money. They need somebody to talk to. They need somebody, who can share the views. We can talk to them. They're suffering from psychological feeling, that isolation. At least, call them to your house. Give them whatever you have, cup of tea, biscuit, whatever you have. Or if you want to give food, that's well and good. If not, whatever you have, at least talk to them nicely. Talk to them nicely. Encourage each other. That look, you can have a system in the masjid. This is why our masjid have become the center of fitna, center of all the trials and tribulations, center of all the evils. This is the problem. Why? Because we are not helping each other, encouraging each other. That look, my brother, this family, they have come from here. There are 10 families. I will look after one family. You look after one family. Fine, we can do that. And Allah has given us the capacity. We can do that. If not feeding 10 families, at least one family, yes, we can. So this is how we have to share and care in the society. This is the practical religion. It's not just theory that I have memorized the whole Quran, I have memorized, this. What is the use if we do not have the practical aspect to it? If we do not implement in our lives, our learning has got no meaning. That's not the purpose of the Quran. Just to memorize and beautifully recite, that's one aspect. But the real aspect is to implement the Quran in our lives. The Quran should appear from our bodies, from our behavior, from our acts. It should appear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying such people, has described earlier, they neither spend by themselves nor do they let others spend, so that their own stinginess is concealed. Like Abu Lahab, he was very stingy man. Abu Lahab was very stingy. He never used to tell anybody to feed poor people. Why? Because people will say that, look, you have got a lot of money, you feed first. You are the treasurer of Kaaba. So therefore you should, feed first. And because of that fear that, people will ask me, he never used to ask anyone. He was so stingy. Abu Jahl, exactly the same. So they're all like that. So now Allah is exposing them. Allah is bringing, their stinginess, their bad attitude, their behavior in public. And that's why they were angry. That what kind of religion is that? Nothing is hidden. This your book is exposing us. All our bad things which were hidden inside us. So now they're exposed. So that's why they're angry with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So Allah told us to honor the weak and then encourage ourselves and others to feed them. This is because we live in a society where we might give some money to the homeless person on the street, but with an attitude, here is some money, but don't touch me. Don't come near me. You can observe this. Stand in the town center where some beggar is sitting. Yeah, he's homeless man. He's sitting, And people, what do? They take one coin from the pocket and just throw, yeah, into his box. He has got a small box, so they throw into that. They don't even touch. They never sit down next to him. I have seen some people I have seen, wallahi, they're so kind. They go and sit next to that person. They're talking. They're trying to find out what's the problem. There are some kind people. There are some kind. Believe me, there are some kind people. They do that. But majority, they just throw the money and they said, "I have done my job. I have put 1 pound in the kitty, and that's it. My job is finished." There are some beautiful organizations. Yeah, particularly there are some missionary Christian organization I have worked with. They're amazing people. They have got something called as tree development. They select this kind of people from the downtrodden society, and they take one child from the family, and then they will have a tree development in the sense they help the child in his nourishment, in his education, and then if father can do something, they give loan to the father and he can do something. If mother can do something, they buy a sewing machine or something and they say that okay, you can continue your business. If sister can do something or brother can do the something, so they take the whole family and they re-establish the family, and they make sure within 5 years the family should come out of this poverty. They should be on their feet. you know they should cater for their needs themselves, and then they'll remove that family and take another family. Wow, subhanallah, I was so impressed working with them. I was really, really impressed. What their intentions were, I am not interested in that. It's between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the way these people, they were behaving in the society, they were helping, Muslims, Hindus, everybody they were helping. It was so amazing. There are so amazing people. And this is another problem we have. Muslims, we always think I have to help only Muslims, not a non-Muslim. Why is that? Allah is saying here that miskin. Allah does not say miskin Muslim, miskin Muslimin. No, Allah has not said that. Allah said miskin. Anybody who needs my help. Tahaduna means to urge and exhort one another to something. Yeah. Say if you see something nice in the market, you come back and you send the text message that in this place, if you go there, you get these things. Today they're on sale. Yeah, we are encouraging some, other people also to buy those things which we feel is good. This is how we have to feel that if somebody is hungry, yes, you can tell the society that this person, this family, they need our help. I can help so much. Can you also help? You know, you are not exposing them, but rather you are working as a society, as a team, and trying to re-establish the family. The implication is that it is not merely required to feed the orphans. It is required that the affluent of the society show enthusiasm of their welfare and urge others also in this regard. Allah has given somebody wealth. It's not that Allah is so happy with that person and Allah has given so much. No, no, no. This is a fallacy. Most of all of the prophets except one or two, all the prophets of Allah, they were very poor. Was Allah not happy with them? Allah is very happy with them. But this is a test. Allah, for some people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the test for the prophets are very, stringent, very, very strong. So Islahi Sahab, Aminuddin Islahi Sahab, he said, the word Tom, feed, is used here in a broader sense. And this usage is quite customary. The objective is to cater for all the needs. Even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the word, Tom means food. Yeah. But it's not just that. All the requirements, all the needs. So we have to cater for that needs. As I told you, that many people who are coming in this context, they are rich people. They're not very poor. They have got food. But there's no one there to talk to them because they have reverted. They have become Muslims. Nobody is there to talk to them. They want to come out with all the things, emotions, what they have, what they're holding it. And wallahi, this is so sad that people who are revered, they're really, really desperate. And because we think, oh, that man revered, oh, okay, stop there. No, you have got your own community, don't come to us. Because we are our community, and within community we have got a big macro community, Asians, and within that we have got Indian community, Pakistani community, Bangladeshi community, and again within them there's this, and they go up to the village level also, and I don't know what beyond that. This is so sad. This is so sad. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayat number 19. So subject matter is continuing. وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ أَكْلًا لَمًّا. And you consume inheritance, devouring it altogether. Wa is al watifa. So ayat number 17, 18, and now 19. So the subject matter is flowing, yeah, on different things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is continuing the subject matter. Kuluna, this is you consume. Yeah, this is again from akala yakulu, means to eat. Yeah, but here it means to consume. We'll discuss this word inshallah. Yeah, this is once again imperfect word, fail mudare. Mudare means in the present and in the future also. This is happening from 1400 years, it's happening now, and it will happen in the future also. This is the warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At-turasa, this is from the word varsa or virasat. In Urdu, we say virasat. Yeah, from the inheritance. Inheritance comes when the man who had the wealth, man or woman who had the wealth, and they died, and that is called virsa. We call estate. Somebody dies, and that somebody is eating away, and they are not the real inheritors, but they are some outsiders. Allah is talking about them. Akalan is devouring. Yeah, we'll discuss about this. This is verbal noun al mafulul mutlaq. We are going to discuss this inshallah. Yeah, what is mafulul mutlaq is very important. Lamma, on top of the devouring, are akalan, lamma, all together, not leaving anything to the real inheritors. We'll discuss this inshallah. And this is an adjective describing akalan. This is sifa mansub, adjective. Okay. وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ أَكْلًا لَمًّا. And you devour inheritance with all greeds. Yeah. Now this is the third evil trait Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining. Yeah. First, it's about yateems, not feeding the yateems, not honoring them. And number two, not feeding the miskin. And number three, anybody who dies leaving something and you are eating everything from their inheritance. We'll discuss how and why inshallah. So on top of this, you consume athurasa, the inheritance, even though this is applicable at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But is it applicable today? Yes, it is applicable today also, because these situations, because we are human beings, please remember this. Human beings, our needs, our things, from the time of Adam alayhi salam until the last day, they are not going to change. The shape, the situation shape may change, but the requirements will not change. They will stay as it is. What happened 1400 years ago, even today it can happen. That's why Quran is eternal. Yeah, Quran is until the last day. So all the injunctions, all the things Allah is talking about, it is going to stay until the last. The application is until the last day. Now, what was happening? I told you that what happened when somebody died. Yeah, say within the clan. I'll just give the first example from the clan. Yeah, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. because they were living in small clans. Yeah. And in the clan, if somebody died, yeah, and then they say, okay, so he died, so all his whatever his inheritance, that should come to me. Why? Because I am looking after your family, I am looking after his wife, I am looking after his children, so therefore I am the inheritor, I am the owner. That's exactly what Abu Jahl did to this, yatim boy who came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam completely naked. And I have told you this story before. Yeah. So this is what happens. So they want to take away everything from them. At-turasa or virsa. Yeah. Virasa is inherited wealth. It can also refer to wealth which you gain without having to do any work at all. You have not done anything. Just because he is your brother, he's your relative, he's your cousin, and immediately you think, or he is my nephew or somebody, and then you say, okay, oh, he has left lot of wealth. What shall I do? They will go and tell that widow and tell the wife of the deceased person or somebody or your teams and say that, look, you have got nobody to look after you. I'm going to look after you. What shall I do? You give all your business, you give all your money, transfer into my name, and then I will look after you. Astaghfirullah, this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is forbidding. So this person is already rich, but he still wants more, free money. That's what they think. Want more free money. One might see an ill person about to die, and all he thinks is now, how am I going to inherit from their money after they die? Either they go to the dying person and say that, look, when you died, who is going to look after your wife and your children, your family? You know that I'm an honest person, good person. Just transfer into my name. Just make a verbal, at least if you're dying very quickly, then make a verbal wish that everything I should own and I will look after your family. Or they will call, the solicitor and change the will or whatever they can do. This is the mentality of that person. And when that person dies, they take their own shares together with the shares of others, regardless of whether the shares belong to orphans, widows, or people who are absent. And this can happen in corporates also, in the corporate sector also, because in corporate sector there are many shareholders, many partners, and once somebody dies, they'll change, the corporate, documents, and they make sure that the person who died, his family does not get anything. That's also a type of fraud. Lamma means together, greedily or altogether. There are other meanings for lamma in the Quran Majid. For example, as, when, then, because, for what, after, and many more meanings. But here it means together, greedily, or altogether. Akalal lamma, to pile something together, put your arms around it and eat it. To gather and grab hold of it. Like in some comedy films, you must have seen that, if you put a big plate of, all chicken, fish, all the thing, this person, he's very big and he's putting these two hands around that, platter. And then, he starts eating and he's looking everywhere that nobody is going to snatch his food. Like animal. Yeah. If you have seen animals eating, in the either forest or in the zoo, that's what they do. The lion, if you put a big piece of beef or something, and the lion is looking everywhere that nobody is going, he's not going to share, or she's not going to share these animals. And this is the animal behavior. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is portraying that this is what akalal lamma means. They're putting their two hands together and try to grab food very close to their chest and start eating. Don't want to share with anyone. This is how the person wants to eat up the wealth of the orphan. The greedy person stares at it like a beast of prey, waiting for the person to die and looking for the opportunity to distribute the estate. He wants to take everything. If somebody says, no, no, I have got my share, no, no, no share. Look, I'm the one. I'm the guardian. So now I'm going to look after. No share for anyone. Okay. So what I will do, I'll stop it here because our time is up. So from the next slide, inshallah, I'll do it next Sunday, same time. Wa akhiru dawana. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik.